You thought we were done with more tips and tricks. Nope. We're back with more stuff you still probably don't know about Breath of the Wild. Side note, some of these we're not going too in-depth on, so if you want separate explainers on how some of these tricks are done, let us know. And of course, if you like this series, let us know with a like. We appreciate it. Alright, onwards. Did you know that ancient bows have a special property that no other weapon has? They have a secret armor-piercing property. While other bows are blocked with their shields up, ancient bows pierce right through. This is extremely useful against pesky enemies constantly putting their guard up. And this can be used in special situations that'll be shown later in the video. This even works against yourself. The mighty Hylian shield doesn't stand a chance. By scaring the king towards an enemy encampment, he'll freeze up and get harassed by bokoblins. I'd suggest standing up to bullying instead of just recording from a distance, Link. Wait a minute, isn't the king a ghost? This doesn't make any sense. Riju's sand seal, Patricia, can give some words of wisdom if you hand her a couple snacks, and a couple puns as well. I suggest feeding her a couple times because she has a couple more tips to give. Ooh. The Rito couple, Teba and Saki, are placed like this because in Japanese, this is a play on words that roughly translates to, chicken wings. Have you ever cheesed your way to a monk before extracting the rune before? Well, you'll get this message telling you to go back. Nintendo knew people were going to break this game even before it came out. With Lionel's fireballs, the standard response is to run left or right. But have you ever tried going up? Fireballs can chase you pretty high vertically. Most heavy objects in Breath of the Wild make Link walk fairly slowly and have some really awkward animations. But there's an interesting glitch nicknamed Golden Gauntlets that allows you to pick up normally heavy objects like nothing, walk around at normal speed, and chuck them with no problem. Yup. If you block a rock Octorok's shot with a large item such as a box up close, throwable items it sucks up will ricochet off and become miniaturized versions of themselves. The interesting part though is even though this is obviously a glitch and is not intended, the physics system still follows the same rules, which means the item is actually lighter, is able to be thrown farther, and has different rolling properties. If you pay close attention, you'll notice that entering bullet time slows down animations in the menu as well as in the game. The thunderstorm rod's current runs slower, and the blade saw's teeth turns more slowly. If you burn a Yiga foot soldier's bow out of their hands, they lose their bow and have nothing left to do, except keep their distance and dance around. Is that the stanky leg? Near the southern oasis, it's been noted in the game's code that there's a single random shock arrow here, but nothing's found. That's because it is up in the sky, like way up in the sky, past the skybox's limits where no one can reach. Maybe one day someone will find a way to claim it. It's been long known that Lizalfos have the capability to catch boomerangs out of the air, but did you know that bokoblins and moblins are just as capable of catching them as well? If you throw something in front of enemies while disguised, pick up the item, then chase them around with it. They'll want nothing to do with you. Anyone can cook in a cooking pot, but the real way to cook is to grab a couple treasure chests, a door, and make a fire underneath. Now this is some outdoor cooking. You've seen your friend Hestus before, probably many, many times. But have you ever seen him run? This is missing something. There you go. Have you ever seen under Villia's mask? Just use Rivali's Gale to help you out. This doesn't feel right. Moving on. You've seen a fire breath Lizalfos breathe fire, but have you seen one in the water? They'll do a similar attack to their normal counterparts, but with a fiery twist. Ice Lizalfos' weakness is always fire, where they'll melt immediately. But can they handle hot water? Nope. They even seem hesitant to get into the hot water to attack Link. You can turn Link's body completely red for a short period of time. By standing in specific shallow water, then using a multi-shot bow over and over on a dry surface to make a fireball, Link will heat up and turn beet red. You can even switch up equipment and keep the crimson look. This is only a temporary visual glitch though, so get your pictures in while you can. A little wilderness survival tip for you. If you ever need to make a fire and you don't have too much on you, just pull out a bow with a fire bow equipped. Then switch between the bows very quickly near light vegetation like grass or plants. The quick switching starts a friction fire for you to throw wood fuel on. This is truly a Tinder fire starter because this doesn't work on heavy wood by itself, only on light tinder. There is a way to aim the lightning's location other than by throwing the item. By going into bullet time and removing all metallic equipment, then shooting a shock arrow on a conductible surface, the lightning switches targets and aims at what you shot. This will even target the thunderstorm rod's projectiles. Horses with gentle temperaments aren't just calmer and easier to tame, they also don't buck the rider when you overspur them. This is mostly tied to weak horses, but there's one powerful horse that won't throw you off when you overspur. Your trusty steed, Epona. What a true friend. While this trick in particular blew up recently, it's still important to point out that there's one other worthy of picking up the Master Sword, Yiga Blademasters. By clipping inside the hideout or by baiting the Yiga member to the door and then Korok leafing it, they will teleport outside to you. Then kite them all the way to the Korok forest, which is a very long journey, and lead them to the Master Sword, where they will proceed to yoink the sword with no problem. Did you know that you can map pin a flying arrow? Don't know how useful that would be, but some things are just for fun. Probably one of the most entertaining things is to feed low-level Lizalfos. If you feed them while disguised, they have special animations for catching their prey, but sometimes their accuracy and hit detection for catching prey is so bad, they are completely unable to catch their meal. You may have seen Wiz Robes do a special storm summoning attack before, but you can create some neat situations with this. By using a Korok leaf to push the Wiz Robe after the spell is cast, you can make a snow in situations where it's not normally possible. While this is obviously not a permanent thing, seeing Hyrule Castle or Kakariko Village in the snow is something I wish would happen once in a while in the game. Alright, from here to the next few tips involves the final boss, so if you haven't beaten the game after 4 years, looking at you, skip these next 3 tips. The Wizrobe Storm, mentioned before, persists through cutscenes, giving a pretty snowy and chilly entrance to the Calamity Ganon fight. Calamity Ganon has some tough armor that deflects all attacks, except its guard is let down during flurry rushes. By using any glitched flurry rush technique, such as Perfect Daruk's Rush or Thunderclap Rush, you can attack right through its armor. If you're interested in a compiled list of advanced battletech lightly explaining these, it is linked in the description below. Another way to go through the armor is by using the before mentioned Ancient Bow. While it doesn't work normally, if you get into bullet time, you can pierce through Ganon's armor like nothing whenever you want. Now, combine the 2 tricks together for a fully unblockable combo to attack right through his pesky defenses. And that's a wrap. If you enjoy this series, let us know by liking this video, and check out our previous videos for more interesting things you didn't know. And for everything else, stay tuned right here on GameSpot.